Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Malikicowtipper going to bring you a late night game of StarCraft 2, and today my opponent is Ifurita, and I'm not so sure how I feel about casting this game, simply because, as far as I can tell right here, Ifurita is probably a fairly new player, at least this account is fairly new, as far as that's concerned. But anyway, I thought it was kind of a fun little game on Entomb Valley, and I figured I would bring it up to YouTube. And also, I'm going to be gone for the next couple days for my entire user base that cares. It's so cool, thank you guys very much. But I'm going to this really awesome thing called Omega 5 over by Minneapolis, which is in the great... Actually, no, I take that back, the not great state of Minnesota. 10,000 lakes in my ass, and we have 14,000. Wisconsin's better, so drink more. So, anyway, to that note, oh look, no rally points, so cute little drone. But I'm going to try to cast a couple late-night games tonight, and, I think I might just cast the next couple games that I play, whether I win or lose as far as that's concerned, is because I want to have some new content for you guys up over the weekend for YouTube, and I figure if I just spam YouTube with videos, eventually people will find me, and I will be noticed. But as far as that goes, I did go into this map knowing I was playing a Terran, and my kind of current philosophy or current way of thinking against Terran is I'm going to try to be, more aggressive than I normally am as far as that's concerned. At least try to get better scouting information, and realistically, like I've said in other videos, winning against a Terran is really all about staying one step ahead of him. I don't know how well that's going to work out at, higher leagues and stuff like that, where they're probably always one step ahead of me, but I'm trying to be one step ahead of them. Anyway, so we can see right here that I'm going to be going for, maybe a little bit more of a relaxed expand. I think I'm going to do it around 16 drones, and I actually like waiting for a few more drones to get it out, just I feel that this gives me a little bit more economic buying power, and I get to reproduce drones for a very, very long time without even actually having to, make that overlord, which I do think is very cool as far as that's concerned. And you can see that I have not even, nope, I do have my scouting, drone down here, and from what I can see, we have a pretty standard play. Wolof going with Supply Depot, then the barracks. I have not seen him take a gas yet, but it's still fairly early as far as that's concerned, but if anything, I'm thinking he was waiting a little bit to put that down, just because he was obviously trying very, very hard to kill this drone, but losing a little bit of mining time because of that. We can see that right at 16 supply, my hatchery is going up, and it's just going to give me a lot of minerals where I can then get an extractor, go for a pool, and have fairly fast speedlings, and just kind of continue to have control of the map and see what's going on. So, we check this out right here. He's going straight for mining on his gas, and he's producing a marine. And this marine is his pretty much sole purpose is just to kill this drone, because I've no doubt that he actually would like to hide whatever type of tech he's willing to go for as far as that's concerned. And right here, I almost think that he's going to give me a way out. And I think he did this simply because he wanted me to see that SCV going down, thinking that maybe he would go for, a quick second command center. But to that end, oop, tricked you, ha. Am I gonna get out? Oh, come on. Oh, sad panda. This drone has about reached the end of his time, and to that end, we check this out. My spawning pool is just about to finish, but I, in all of my wisdom, have not put down any workers on gas, and that's going to drastically delay my speed, which definitely sucks as far as that's concerned. And now that he has his map back under control, there's nothing in his base, we're probably going to start to see what tag path he chooses to go with, and there's a factory. So, for that, pretty standard play, more than likely expected Hellions, and for this, I almost thought about laying down a second extractor, just to get my gas level going, quicker, but I'm like, you know what, I just don't quite have the mineral economy that I'm going to need. If I take a drone to build the extractor, then pull, 2 or 3 off to get gas, whatever it is, it can wait just a little bit longer. I do have double queen coming out very, very soon. I'm a little bit separated, because I forgot to get the second queen right away. We can see that this SCV, he happens to not know where I am yet, which I do think is kind of neat as far as is concerned. We see the reactor going up here, and he'll more than likely swap the factory for the barracks, and there we can see he has the second command center going down inside the base. So he'll probably push up with some Hellions, try to gain map control, keep me in my 2 bases, snipe whatever workers he can, and then go for his explosives. Pretty standard game, and that is very loud audio. I really need to stop doing that. I think I've done that in almost half the videos I've been posting lately. I'm just getting too careless. Oh, also fun fact, I got a new mouse. It's a Logitech series, and I can't remember what it is right off the top of my head. It's the G500, the one with the extra weight in there. And I gotta say, I like how much better this performs compared to the Naga I was using before. And I used that when I was playing a lot of MMOs, and it's a good mouse, don't get me wrong, but the click on this one's just a little bit springier. It better fits my hand, and the fact that I could make the mouse, really heavy, and it slides really nice across my pad. for my computer is just fantastic. So I have a Baneling nest going up, and these are more or less security Banelings, and also aggression Banelings, because my thought is, you know what? If I can get him out quick enough, I might just try blowing him up and going for, you know, a Baneling bust. But realistically, if I wanted to go Baneling bust, I've kind of already screwed myself over, because your Baneling bust should be coming right at about this time, not necessarily, you know, just getting your Baneling nest down. But that was kind of my thought. We check out the income tab right now at this point in the game. We can see I'm up 37 to 25 harvesters, and I have my second base up and running fairly well established. And what's going to happen here is my Overlord happened to spot these Hellions, and I saw the factory, and I also saw the 2 barracks going down. So for that, you will see that I'm laying down 2 spine crawlers, and I actually had this queen go and poop over a creep tumor right away. So basically my idea is, if the Hellions come in, I really don't want them pushing into this base. They could actually maybe have one here and one up here, that way it kind of guards the mineral line a little bit more, but the idea is squish a few Lings and the queen in there, and the Hellions won't be able to push through. We can see he has 4 Hellions. As long as they get my spine crawlers are done, which they will be, I'll have no problem cleaning this up. And this Ling, his mission is actually to go and scout out the other bases, because when this Overlord came over, I was actually kind of surprised to not see the second Terran base over there on the ground, and it actually looks like he's more or less using this as a macro command center at this point, just to get a lot of SCVs. We can see he has mega oversaturation, but he's afraid to put them down until he knows he has map control because of how deadly Lings can be. But that's something that, you know, Bunker or something like that over there could have cured. And right now, because of my Overlord, I see the 6 Hellions down here, and I'm feeling pretty good about my position. I'm going to lay down 2 Evo Chambers, can help block this off a little bit, and between my Queen, I have absolutely no fear of him pushing in, getting my creep spread down just a little bit more. I probably could use to connect these bases, just for the heck of it, and need to do a better job at injecting, totally, anytime. God, Queens are just so neat. She'll inject. There we go. But these Hellions are coming out, and I feel like they're coming out just a little late. Like, every second that he's delaying with his Hellions is my wall-off just getting better and better. And I think he came over here to check to see if I'd taken one of those greedy 3rd Zerg bases, and I haven't. Just because I wanted to get a little bit more of a foothold before I took that fast expansion. I wasn't quite confident in my ability to defend it. And right here we can see he is going to get to roast a few Lings, a few easy kills, but I took out one of the Hellions. And if we go back to the production tab right here, we'll see that I have a Roach Warren on the way. I'm getting +1 route. Melee attack and ground armor, and I'm actually going to be producing about 10 roaches. Wow. And these roaches are more or less for 2 things. 1, just to get these Hellions the fuck up out of my base, and 2, I know that I'll make use of them later on in my army, but the thing is, those are probably about the only 10 roaches that I'm actually going to make. Excuse me. That was yummy. Had pizza tonight. Anyway, we can see he's moving a starport, transitioning right onto the reactor, and he's probably going to start building double med bays out of that, and we can see he has the engineering bay going up. So right now he's transitioning pretty much all beautifully into, you know, a fairly standard Terran mid game. We can see I'm up 43 to 34 harvesters. I could use the macro a little bit more, but I spent maybe a little bit too much money on defense, and we can see I have these Lings trying to take down the destructible rocks here, and I am going to do something quite greedy with my money. Now that I know I've pushed those guys back, and he knows that I'm the one with the map control, not him, I'm not going to take 1 expansion, but I'm going to double expand, just because I decided that I have a lot of money, I'm not quite spending it yet. And it just seemed like the right thing to do as far as that goes, because I don't think he would necessarily expect me to double expand at this point. And I'm going to be sending out a few of these Zerglings that I have over here to kind of give me a good idea of map control, because I'm sitting on quite a large amount of money, and with 2 hatcheries I just can't quite spend it. So my idea is that I can max my army, see I'm up to 53 workers now, and I'll be able to migrate over quite a few of those whenever I need to. I can max my army whenever I need to, but I'm pretty confident that if his Hellions just came out, that it's going to be a little bit of time before that push comes, just because I knew that the second base wasn't established, and we can see that he's getting ready for, you know, me to kind of transition into Muta or something else like that, but I haven't even built a Spire yet. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 6 by 150, that's 900 minerals that he spent, but again, they're useful units, but for Terran, minerals are, you know, pretty valuable. That's a good chunk of Marines, actually. That's 18 more Marines that he could have on the field, or, you know, an extra command center and SCVs to power it. So I think it was kind of a blind move as far as he's concerned to put down these missile turrets, but realistically, they do a very good amount of damage against Mutalisks, and if I ever do decide to fly in there with them, he's already prepared and he doesn't have to worry about losing too much of those. So I'm trying to get my creep spread out, and that's another thing that's very important, especially I feel fighting against Protoss and Terran, but particularly Terran, because you really need to kind of control where this game goes, and we can see that I have Lings kind of covering all the areas around his base, and these Lings, more or less just sacrificial, going to tell me what's going on, and I'm pretty confident at this point that he has not taken a third base because of my scouting over here, and at this point I'm going to see him pushing out with this army because of these Lings, and taking a look at the composition here, he has Marines, Marauders, a few Hellions, and some Medvacs. So for me, if we check out the food count, he's only behind by just a little bit. My harvester count is up 68 to 49, and once I get, you know, a few more harvesters over here and get this gas going, there's absolutely nothing stopping my Zerg army from just being absolutely awesome. And we can see that right now, we go over the production tab, he's waiting for combat shields, Terran armor level 1, and he's also going to have tanks coming out. So he's kind of putting together a standard Terran death ball right here, but what you'll be able to see is that my production queue, I'm getting a lot of Banelings, and I'm rushing in just a shit ton of Zerglings, and oh, this is just a bad queue point, and if anything, this is just more or less throwing Zerglings away. God, why were they going over there? I really have no clue why I hotkeyed them over there. But all this time that he's taking is giving me time for centrifugal hooks to finish, giving me time to produce a few roaches, a few more Lings. We can see that I'm now up quite substantially on the food count, and I still have money to spend, and basically I just burn through all my larvae, making sure I keep my injects up, and I'm not injecting over here. But once I have all 4 of these hatcheries running, it should not be an issue. And what I'm trying to do here is spread my army. I want a group of Lings over here, and I want a group of Lings over there. And what this is going to do is make him feel a little uncomfortable moving in here, because he doesn't quite know what direction to attack to. He does kill my creep tumors, and these units right here, I really didn't want them attacking. They're more or less being thrown away. Again, that was a bad rally point. Right here, I actually going to back that up by just a little bit, by about 15 seconds. So right here, as I move this army in, and these guys over here to attack it, he pushes back. What I'm able to notice right here is that there's actually a nice little gap where I can quickly rush my units around. So this group has my Banelings, my Infestors, a few Roaches, and some Lings. If I can get them behind the army over here, and then rush in from the front with this group of Lings, I should have no problem getting a surround, and the Banelings I should just be able to move, attack A directly into them. The Lings coming from here, he won't be able to run away, and his army is dead. So right here, just very easily, that plan worked out quite well. He was able to get some of those troops and run them away, dropping down a few fungals, keep the rest of them from running, and able to clean up that army very nicely. I'm going to drop some fungals and some invested Terran just because I don't want anything getting away, you know? Every time you let the Terran fly away their medevacs, that's basically free units that they, you know, have to, I mean, if they fly away, that's units that they don't have to rebuild. Medevacs cost minerals, they cost gas, and if we take a look at this right now, go over to the income tab, we can see I'm on 4 base, up 64 to 54 harvesters. I could definitely use to migrate a few of these workers over here onto, say, some more fertile mineral patches, but as far as it goes, I have plenty of harvesters, I have a lot of money and a lot of gas, and if we check this out, my food count is up 151 over 88, and the reason I'm producing so many Zerglings, if we check out the production tab, I'm getting a Spire because I plan to transition into Broodlords, is I have my upgrades for my Lings, and seeing his army composition, realistically, some Banelings, going mass Ling with a few Banelings mixed in and some Infestors, maybe a few Roaches just for the hell of it. I don't know why, I just like seeing Roaches in my army and they soak up a lot of damage. Is a very, very effective way to deal with a lot of Terran armies. We can see I'm poking up here, and it just isn't worth attacking that wall as far as it's concerned. Gave him a free few kills, but right now with all this extra money I have, I'm going to morph Banelings, and I'm going to morph a lot of them. Yeah, that's about 25 Banelings. And I'm just going to continue at this point to rally more and more units, because you can see I still have so much unspent money. It's not even funny. This macro economy of mine is just going into absolute overdrive right now. Actually have a little bit of oversaturation there, but between having 8 gases running and all these minerals being harvested, I haven't even got my hive on the way yet. Wow, that's actually kind of disappointing. I have a macro hatch going down just to kind of help, you know, me spend this a little bit better. And over here, I'll take that back for you guys because that's actually pretty neat what happens there. Everything blows up. Oh, this is gonna be so chill. Yeah. Banelings, 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 and everything explodes, yes. And even though a lot of the Banelings were killed by the siege tanks, they did their job at breaking through the wall, and my 2-2 Zerglings doing quite well, and right now I'm making use of the Infestor energy just by dropping Infested Terran everywhere. And energy units, honestly, they're free units, and if you take a look at this here, they're really what's going to kind of help me pull this together. They do not share upgrades with the Zerglings, which is really too bad, and these Lings are having to kill this wall kind of the old-fashioned way, these Marines just getting free kills. But Infested Terran in the background doing extra damage, tank dropping down, and we check this out. I just have so many units rallying. There really just is not much that he can do. And Ifurita GG's out of the game. And as far as it goes, I don't think this was necessarily the best played game by myself or by him. If we check this out, I have a lot of end spent money, and so does he. And the reason for him is well, 7 barracks is quite a bit as far as production facilities go, but a lot of these don't have reactors on them or anything else like that, so I think between his mules and all of his SCVs, he just wasn't able to quite mine fast enough. And I think as far as it goes, him expanding late and his Hellion pressure not being effective against me whatsoever kind of put him behind in this game, because it's a little bit of a slower build, it's a very deliberate one, and it allowed me to kind of do a ballsy move like taking this, double expansion, which realistically I didn't even really need to, and I guess I didn't even get anywhere going close to Hive Tech. So, I mean, to my part, it was more or less just good placement of my army, being able to wipe the field with him, and then moving in for the kill. I hope you guys enjoyed the game. This is Malikicowtipper signing out.